Hey guys, Lloyd here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified series, Barbecue, who is part of the infamous Target exclusive, Cobra Island lineup. And I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't seem as bad to say nowadays, because unlike before, you could actually find this guy and Major Blood and even Breaker and the Ram Cycle in the store. So needless to say, they've gotten their crap together on this line, which is, to be honest with you, a very good thing. But before I get into the meat and taters of this video, you may have noticed the URLs the past couple of days anyway. I'm not sure when this review is going up. I'm probably going to talk about this in a couple of videos, but much like in the Rankin Bass classic, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, or as they say in that special anyways, my stupid phone is not just kerplunk, it is straight up kerploy. And what I mean by that is, that's all I'm getting. The little battery symbol there. Yeah, not quite sure what's up with that. Seems to me like the gosh darn battery either needs to be recalibrated or just straight up replaced. So hopefully I will get that fixed very, very soon so my URLs can go back to being, of better quality anyways. The iPad camera's not bad, but I don't have the awesome lighting and hardcore edits that I can do on my phone with the iPad. So there is that. That said, that's not going to stop me from posting videos. I have videos to post. I have videos to record as of the time of this video's recording. And, sometimes when life gives you lemons, you have to throw the lemons at their face and kick them till they freaking die. But I digress. So getting into the meat and taters of this video, Barbecue's a pretty cool figure, man. Probably one of my favorite Joes of the year, which obviously ain't saying much because I am not the biggest Joe collector on the face of the planet. G.I. Joe's not my main thing. I just like really cool toys, and this line is full of those. So, take that as you will. That said, though, this is probably in my top 5. I don't know. He's right up there with Zartan and good old Major Blood and Firefly, as far as I'm concerned. I do not have the Snake Eyes with the wolf yet, but I would really like to pick that up. That's a cool set. And I missed out on the Amazon Roadblock, and I'm not going to pay you guys double retail for it. You're smoking crack like Rick James if you think I'm doing that. But taking a look-see at old Barbecue here. Comes with his trusty fireman's axe, which, spoiler alert, he's a fireman. He comes with 2 axes. He comes with this one here, which I believe has a silver blade on it. My eyes aren't deceiving me. And then he comes with a little pocket axe here, which I've yet to try and get this in his hand, but I don't think there's any paint on this. But it does have a grip, which kind of feels spiked there. I thought there was an axe with a skull on it, which would have been pretty savage, but maybe they took that out or changed the mold, I don't know. But then he has his little water squirter, his little super soaker, his little water pistol here, which does fit in his hand. It's just a chore to do, so I'll save that till the end. And then this tuber is a separate piece. I'm not going to unplug it because it's kind of a pain in the butt to get in there, but it does come unplugged, and it unplugs at both ends, both the water squirter and the water tank. So, if your space is limited, you can probably get away with taking this off, but I just kind of like to put the gun in the holster like this, with the hose kind of going around him like that. Some people have this tucked behind the arm. I don't mind it going in front of him. I don't think it's that bad. I think it looks fine that way. It takes up less real estate that way, that's for sure, because if you try and put his arm in front of this, it's just going to push. Or, I guess that's not terrible, but I don't know. I don't mind the hose being in front of him. feel like it takes up less room that way, but one of the things you could do is heat it up so this is flush like this, but I don't know. I don't mind. If I can get this in there. I don't mind this look. Just kind of swings around and goes in front, because really you would want this hose in the front anyways, because if he were to grab it, the hose would be kind of on the inside of his arm and you'd be able to pose it better. I don't know. I'm not up on this stuff. It makes sense to me. But of course you can't always unpeg his backpack, which some people I guess say it's crooked on there. I didn't notice that on mine. But maybe it's because I store the gun a little differently, or store the hose connected to the gun a little differently. But I'm taking that off. That's all he comes with. That's all you get. You get no more. Good day, sir. But decent spread of accessories. He can carry them all on his person, which is always a bonus with this line. I kind of like the fact that you don't got to throw any accessories into a little storage baggie, with the exception of Storm Shadow's little grapple hook thing. There's not really a spot for that, but other than that, I think most of my Joes have all their accessories. I don't think I have the backpack on Snake Eyes, but Snake Eyes looks better with just the sword anyways. But at any rate, this guy is cool, though. Look at that faceplate. Kind of looks like one of the Steel Monsters guys. You guys remember that line? With the metal face mask and whatnot. You could take this head off and make a Mad Max looking guy out of it, I guess. But either way, cool. I dig it. And then he's got the armored kind of vest going on here. Excuse me. With the oxygen tank. I assume that's what that is there. A little bit loosey-goosey here and there on this guy, but not terrible. He's got the big old pants and knee pads and boots there. Big old shoulders. I want to say his shoulders are new. The bicep is new, at least on that side. Maybe this side too. The lower arms seem new. Those don't seem familiar. And then the legs might be reused. They seem like fireflies, but don't hold me to that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what the torso underneath of this is. I'm guessing maybe Duke or Beachhead or something. That seems to be the ones they reuse a lot. But yeah. Pretty cool figure, man. But articulation on this guy, his head gets quite a bit of range considering he's got the big bulky helmet on there. But he can look up, he can look down, he can tilt side to side a bit, he can look side to side. His neck is also on rotation, so you can rotate that around pretty easily too. That's the one thing this line does a little bit better than Legends. When they put in a neck joint, you can actually use it. Shoulders go out to the side, back down. They do have that forward and back butterfly joint there, which of course on my barbecue got stuck on this side, but I managed to get it unstuck. So that's cool. The freezer is a very helpful thing, kids. Remember that. Bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow. Doesn't give you a whole lot of range because of how bulky it is down there, but it's enough. And then he has the appropriate wrist hinges on both sides. Hell yes, I love that. That is how it's supposed to be done. He's got an ab crunch, but you really can't use it. I mean, it's there, but it's not. Then he's got rotation down here. Again, a little bit loose in this area. I may try and heat this up some more and kind of warp it down just so it kind of stiffens up there. But it's better than it was, but I might heat it up a little more and give it a little bit more of a pinch and see what that does. And then as far as his hips go, the drop-down hips, they exist. They're a thing. They suck. They've seemed to have stiffened up a little bit since I got them, but they do kind of flop around a bit. Not as loose as the one I had on Breaker, though, so I guess that's a plus. His hips do kick forward, though. They kick back. They do kick out, back down. I would say, if anything, on the Joes, the drop-down hips, and these butterfly joints could probably be removed. I don't really see a huge benefit in having those, unless, you know, they gotta hold on to a motorcycle or something, which most of them don't. So, you know, not a lot of benefit to that. He's got a thigh cut, nice and tight. I did have to shift these two kind of holster pieces down so I could actually get his legs to sit straight. That's something I've noticed with this line. They put these little holster pieces a little bit high on the hips, so you know you're just going to want to shift those down a bit so you can have their legs standing straight up and down. But once you do that, it works just fine. He's got a double joint at the knee. Works just fine. He's got a boot swivel. He's got a hinge in the foot with a rocker joint and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So that is Barbecue in a nutshell. He's cool, man. I dig him. He's a bulky figure too. He's one of the bigger Joes. I'm used to the Cobra guys being kind of large, like was it Destro and Firefly? They're a bit oversized compared to the rest of the normal size characters. But Barbecue here seems to follow suit with that. So that is pretty cool. But getting his accoutrements back on. Does come with a backpack here. Let's see if I can get this on camera. There we go. Just gotta line it up. It stays in there pretty good too, I will say. I think if anything, the backpacks could utilize a square peg system maybe, because I know some people said that this backpack is crooked on theirs. I didn't notice that on mine, but again, I store the water gun like this, so maybe that's why. But you know, sits on there good enough, I think. And then he's got his two little axes here. Let me know if I have this stored right. I'm not sure if I do, but I usually use the little hand guard to help hold this on. And then his other axe, I forgot to mention, can store on the backpack here. I think like this. That's the only way I could seem to get it to fit, but it does kind of fall out, much like the gung-ho guns, so, you know, be mindful of that. Getting this back in his hand here. I'll just keep it in his hand for now. That is pretty much it for old Barbecue. So that being said, let's take a look at getting him centered. There we go. Let's take a look at some comparisons. First up here is Barbecue next to a couple other Joes from the Cobra Island assortment. We have the last one I reviewed, old Breaker. He came with the Ram Cycle and is probably one of the smallest figures in this line that's, well, not a female. And then we also have Mr. Beachhead, who came out last year in that first initial wave, which was, let's just say, less than fun to find, but I found most of nonetheless. Never got a gosh darn Cobra Trooper, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. But as you can see, well, Barbecue and, well, Beachhead's pretty tall too, isn't he? But I think Barbecue takes him on Beef. What do you guys think? Up next, here he is next to a couple members of the infamous Cobra. Also from the Cobra Island assortment, we got Major Blood, who was the second last Cobra Island figure I reviewed. And to be honest with you, I think probably the best Cobra Island figure we got all year. I don't know, I'm partially biased towards cyborg cowboy guys with Darth Vader helmets and eye patches. That's just cool to me. And then we also have Firefly. Shout out to T-Biz for the hookup on that one. Although it's funny, the day after he hooked me up with that figure, Mr. Bryan found several in the store. So there you go. That's how it works, I guess. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy to have most of the Joes I got because it's a really solid line. And I hope it keeps going. I haven't talked about it before, but I will say I think as far as the PulseCon showings went, the Joe team had by far the best. They definitely showed the most product I'm going to buy, that's for sure. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the 11th Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and yet again, this is another solid addition to the G.I. Joe Classified Series line. Not sure what it's going to take for them to make a bad release in this line, but I hope to God it's not anytime soon. So with that being said, this is more than likely my favorite Joe Team member of the year. That's right! While I may not have that Commando Snake Eyes with Timber just yet, I hope to have him by the end of the year to maybe throw in that pool. This guy is my current favorite. He's something different. We haven't got a fireman in this line before, so that is cool in and of itself. And we got to have someone to keep that crazy Firefly in line, right? So for those reasons and those reasons alone, I would highly recommend you try and track this guy down. Not sure if he's still available on oldtarget.com, but if he is, I'd highly suggest you pick this guy up because he is, once again, a solid addition to what has become a really solid line. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But remember, I'm going to be a little less active on there for a little bit. It's temporary, at least until I get my gosh darn phone fixed, because remember, it didn't just go kerplunk, it went kerplooey. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when your phone does go kerplooey. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.